welcome to another edition of After the Whistle. Oh, we're in May 7th.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, I was about to say April, but now calendar has changed. The weather's getting a little more nice, and we just out here doing what it do. Todd's over there on his iPad.
Yeah, I got two computers over here, so yeah.
Did you see the latest thing they did? They keep doing these Mount Rushmores.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of them, but the AI be looking crazy on them, though.
Yeah.
They be looking mad old.
They just did one. I saw one yesterday, the Mount Rushmore of adult film stars.
Whoa. I did not see that one.
You're talking about the girls.
No, I didn't see that one either. I seen a bunch of other ones, though, but I did not see that.
Yeah, that one.
Great way to start the show.
Oh, man.
Excuse me.
Well, yeah, they're getting a little out of hand with these Mount Rushmore stuff, but yeah, that one was just, and the worst part is when you read the comments, it's like everybody was laughing because the faces they showed, it was just like, everybody was laughing because they all knew who they were. So all you saw was just people laughing, and somebody wrote, "We all know why we're laughing." It's like, yeah.
I guess it's good to see when the world comes together.
Yeah, the rare times.
Yeah, there should be more of those for all reasons, not just nonsense.
This is very true. NBA playoffs is kind of wild right now. The second round, the field, man. The first no home team has won a game yet in the second round, which is interesting. But the way the league is now, home court don't really matter.
Yeah, plus, some teams haven't played their game twos yet.
Yeah.
With something happening tonight.
Yeah, that too. And then, we got buzzer beaters. We got everything you want for it. It's a tough couple of days for the NBA's boring crowd. It's a very tough couple of days for them because they really ain't got much to say. So.
I mean, the playoffs is where it's prime time, so it should be exciting. This is where I feel like attention to detail is focused way more. You know what I mean? You're not going to get away with certain things you get away in an 82-game season.
Yeah.
Them guys are trying to finish you in 4 games. So tensions is high, emotions is high, energy's high, everything's high. The first couple games looked a little crazy when the playoffs started because the energy was so high. They weren't used to, I want to say, not even playing that high, but just playing that physical.
Yeah.
Because, in the playoffs, you get away with a lot more physicality. You're not trying to blow the whistle and slow the game down as much as the regular season and stuff like that.
They've definitely been consistent on letting them play certain times of the game.
And during the regular season, you got to preserve the bodies as much as you can. Because, it still is entertainment. So, now we're in the second round of the playoffs, and teams are showing that it's better off not to have rest. Now, that might change based on the end of the series, but right now, the teams that...
kind of the momentum.
Yeah, the teams that won Game 6 and Game 7, they won the first games of the series. And I know, which game you want to start with?
Man, I mean, Cleveland and Indiana. I was filming something during this game, so I was keeping up on the phone. I checked that. I checked on the app. I saw the score was like 119, 112. There was like 45 seconds left. I was like, all right, all Cleveland probably got to do is just make their free throws and they win this game. 2 minutes later, I checked back and Indiana won, and I went and saw what happened. It was just like the fundamentals. Just got to go back to the fundamentals of executing late game. First of all, letting the free throw shooter rebound the ball, get the rebound off a missed free throw. That's just like basketball malpractice.
Yeah, it's like cardinal sin.
You're right. That's one thing that's gonna make you run laps at practice. If this was high school,
That's definitely demoralizing.
Yeah. And then turnovers after turnovers, and I think Cleveland missed like 5 free throws down the stretch. But it was the turnovers. I mean, Donovan Mitchell gets one. Then there was another one, I think on an inbound, they turned it over. So it was kind of like, finish the game.
Yeah, man. When people say experience, that's where some of that stuff comes into play. Just regular mishaps you really want to have during your regular season when the lights are brighter, the value of the game increase severely. Yeah. So, and once again, got to be tighter with the ball, got to pay attention to the detail. And this is when was the last time Cleveland been in the playoffs?
They were in there last year.
Last year, so the past 2 years, it's been a while since then. Before that, right? Oh,
yeah.
All right, so, and yeah, it's just looking like they might not be ready.
And it don't help. You got three injuries. Your defensive player of the year is out. Your other guard, your other backcourt is out. Garland, and then the guy that's supposed to be sixth man, DeAndre Hunter, was out too. So they did everything well up until that last 45 seconds to win the game. They got good production from the bench. They get 21 points off their bench, 23 points from Max Strus, Jared Allen 22, Mitchell 48. I think he went to the free throw line 21 times. So they did everything for like majority of the game besides that last 45 seconds. And you were up 20. You were up 22, which 20-point lead in the league. 20-point leads nowadays is like nothing really with the way these guys be scoring and shooting the ball. But I think I just saw a stat: the Pacers are the only team to win a game in under like a certain amount of seconds. They have like 2, and each happened all in a week.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so these dudes, they don't give up though. It's a good fight from the Pacers though. Halliburton and all those guys. I swear, ever since we said that stuff about Halliburton, he been hooping.
I mean, we never said he wasn't good. We never said Reggie Miller wasn't good. Yeah, your personality's your personality. Like,
right. It's just crazy how after we say that, how you see this dude is just going on this crazy run right now.
Hey, he's a great mom out there. That's his last soundbite. You can't. They write themselves, man.
Yeah, but the Pacers, they're definitely feeling good about themselves going back home 2-0. But I did say, I was telling some folks about this matchup. I was saying, I don't know if Cleveland could keep up with the pace that the Indiana Pacers like to play. Because I say this about the Pacers all the time. Defense is an afterthought for them. Their whole objective is we're going to score a lot. And if you want to beat us, you're going to have to outscore. You're going to have to literally outscore us. No stops, no nothing. You have to outscore us. And I don't know if Cleveland is equipped to play at that pace.
Well, if people haven't noticed, it's great to have a good team in the regular season. But when it comes to playoff time, your stars, cream rises to the top. Mm-hmm. Your star's going to show out. So you're missing one star. I just don't think they have enough unless those guys come back from injury, personally. Mm. But I seen a meme. They were saying the Cavs look like that Hawks team. That was a great regular season team. But come to the playoffs, you need some dogs, to make crucial plays that, some players really want to make in the regular season.
Yeah. And then there's going to be like that extra person that just has that game.
But in the playoffs, the stars shine bright, man.
Yeah, and I just don't think they're even with those guys in it, they have a better chance, but I don't think they have the mental capacity to keep up with the Pacers' pace. It just at some point, and we saw it in Game 1 too when those guys were there too. But it's that Pacers' pace. It's just only there's only a few teams that could keep up with them. And
I mean, Halliburton is a matchup problem in itself.
Yeah.
Being a tall guy, getting it out there in the open court, and you got so many athletic guys.
Right.
With the Pacers and guys that can shoot. So.
Yeah. Ty Jerome too. You got a 1 for 14. That clip came out about you saying you'd start for certain teams if you weren't on the Cavs, and you can't be going out there.
He said that?
Yeah, he said that.
He might stop for some teams out in the playoffs. Part of that might have been true if we looked down the line, but probably not.
Pat Bev called him the quicksand feet. He can't move his feet.
With the move he got hit with on top top of the key. I'm like, how'd you move that way based on the move he did? The move he did made you, like, I'm like, how'd you move that way? Like, what were you doing? So thank God he's a great offensive talent.
Right.
Because some guys in the league for their defense, they would have lost a job a long time ago.
Nah, this is true. This is true. This is very true. All right, Celtics dropped their game 1 to the Knicks, and you know, anytime the Celtics lose, it's overreaction. The next day, crazy overreaction. I was just laughing because if you just watch the game, them dudes reached to a point in that game, usually in the third quarter, like it was halfway through the third quarter after they got the big lead, they just stopped playing serious basketball. It was like, you know, they have these CTE moments, and usually it happens, this happens at least once. It happens every round each year. We've seen it. They have just these moments where they just forget how to play basketball. And that's exactly what happened in this game. You go up 20, then you just said, forget the game plan that got us 20. We're just going to rush everything and watch them score. That's literally what happened.
You know, I missed this game. I was running the skills for the youth and Peabody. Shout out to the Rebels, AAU team, by the way.
Shout out to them for them shorts, too.
Oh, yeah. Wrong order, but hey. we lucked up. Right. But, yeah, with that, yeah, like, it's something about them. It's like they don't have that mean as a team, that Grim Reaper that want to just take your heart out and crush you. So if you tell me the Celtics are up 20 between the second and the third, I'm kind of wary. Just because they kind of lose, they kind of go off script, and they don't stick to it, which is a bad thing because it's bad and unfortunate. Granted, it's only one game, but like they're too talented to lose these games because they're not playing chumps. Everybody in the playoffs, and at this point in the playoffs, had the chance to make it to the conference finals and the potential to make it to the NBA finals.
Right.
So you got to buckle down. You really got to stick to your game plan and stop shooting so many damn threes. Like, this is the playoffs. Every possession, yes, you might want a three, but you take the best shot that you get.
Right.
It's that simple, man. Like, you got to lay up, shoot the layup. You don't got to kick it across court for a three. Like, and I understand certain looks, but at the end of the day, I'm all about logic, and the whole point of basketball is putting in the hole, and there's no reason why you should miss 45 threes.
Yeah, and it was, so yeah, the 63 is a lot, but I'm one of those, I'm like, yeah, whatever. But it was like the way they were getting it. It wasn't, because if you look at the first half, right, they go 5 for 23, missing 18 threes. But you don't really say nothing because when you look at everything else, they got to the line 20 times in the first half. They shot like, I think, 70% from inside the paint. So the threes weren't falling, but they was finding other ways to score while getting those looks. It seemed like from like the beginning of the third quarter and until like the 5 or 6 minute mark, they were still doing all that. Granted, the threes weren't falling, but they were still getting to the cup. And then all of a sudden it said, they took 20 shots and 19 with threes, and it was like they just one pass, we're gonna chuck it up like the shot clock. They got enough time on the shot clock. It was, I call it CTE basketball. It was just like forgetting how to play.
They have a bad habit of settling.
Yeah,
they settle.
Yeah,
that's always been an issue for them.
Yeah, settled way too much, and then the Knicks bigs, they kept switching, and they kept settling for the three. It was like Cat was in foul trouble. I think Mitchell Robinson was in foul trouble as well. Yeah, Cat had 5 fouls in the game. Mitchell Robinson, he wasn't in foul trouble, but Mitchell Robinson can't stay in front of none of those wings. So you kept bailing him out with the three. And it was just like, so I was just like, yeah, these dudes were not serious. They were not serious. Because when they were serious, you saw what happened. But then because the Knicks never give up. That's one thing about them. They don't give up. But they did play good defense on Brunson, 9 for 23. And he just had those like 3-4 minute stretch where he usually goes crazy. But those other guys stepped up. OG, he made some big shots, and then the dude Deuce McBride off the bench.
No giving up is just the whole model of sports. Game's not over till the buzzer sounds and it's 0-0 on the clock.
Yeah.
And as you've seen the past couple nights, the team that keeps picking and picking and picking and picking and stays at it is the one that comes out on top.
You're right. Yeah. And you just got to play your game, though. Like, that's literally it. You just play your game and you take advantage of the mismatches like you were in the first half. Like, you do that, you'll be fine. But yeah, 21 points between the fourth and overtime. 16 points in the fourth quarter, 5 points in overtime. So, yeah, those are causes for a win. But once again, it's only one game. It's good for the Knicks to get that game, get the home court advantage. But now, Celtics just got to win this one. They don't want to be looking down 2-0 because now you go 2-0 and then you got to go to that crazy place in New York. And the thing that's annoying about this loss, you just never want to lose to a New York team because you know how obnoxious they are after every win. They're just so obnoxious. You never want to lose to them.
Yeah. I don't know. It's New York, man. It's unless we go down 2-0, then I'll take them seriously. But I'm like, it's a team that's a little. I want to say they're not fresher than us. They just warmed up because we had the rest, but they warmed up. So
it should be a blowout tonight. But
I mean, you know what I mean? I'm all about simplicity and logic when it comes to winning. Mess around the first 3 quarters. Fourth quarter, get to business, man.
Right.
It's that simple. Right.
Oh, man. Other games last night. Warriors and the T-Wolves. The T-Wolves look like the team that just got off the Game 7, and the Warriors look like the team that had a whole bunch of rest. Granted, Steph got hurt, but, man, there was bombs away from them. They couldn't miss. They could not miss.
Where's Rudy Gobert's secret stuff? He was out there looking like a monster.
Yeah, you can't be they got chasing them guards. Yeah.
Not this past game, the game before that against the Lakers. He demoralized out there looking like Shaq.
Looked like Wilt out there.
And then he just shrunk.
Yeah, they put him out against them quick guards.
But, like, you would think that, like, even offensively.
Yeah, with the height advantage.
Yeah, like, just keep doing what you're doing. Like, I don't know, but the Warriors showed that, experience and stars prevail. Luckily, they got this win, you know what I mean, without Steph the whole game. But, yeah, man, it's going to have to buckle down and tighten up based on if Steph's able to play the rest of the series or not. He's going to be out game 2, from what I hear. So if they can steal this one, that they'll have a little more life. But Minnesota, I expect Ant to come back with a vengeance.
Yeah, you got to play way better than him.
Yeah, I don't understand them though. Like, are they like tired? Because it's like they start off great, they just slowly you know what I mean? Yeah. Decline.
They scored 11 points in that second quarter. Like 11 points. I don't know what happened in the second quarter with their offense, but their offense completely left them in that second quarter. Then Golden State put up 36 in the third quarter. So it was like those 2 quarters right there, the difference in the game right there. But yeah, you're right. He was like 0 for something at one point. And like 1 point at halftime, that's wild. And he only got to the line 5 times. For a guy that athletic and that skilled and that explosive, he should be at the line more than 5 times. At least Julius Randle got to the line 10 times.
If your jump is not falling, you got to impose your will on the rim, especially when you're able to.
Yeah.
He can get to the cup whenever he wants, and that'll get your game going. Once you get a couple baskets, a couple layups, a floater, maybe a mid-range jump shot, then you're a little warmed up, then you can just start going ham.
That's what happened to Buddy Hield. He was cold for like the first 2.5, 3.5 quarters, and then I think he got 1 to go in, and then he got hot, and there she goes.
But I think his antennas went up because he realized if I don't make shots, who's going to really make these shots? Mm-hmm. Steph's not out here to bail us out. I'm the second best shooter on the team.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know it, but he actually is, and he showed it.
it's just them big old teeth.
He just, I mean, it's a new setting for him. You know what I mean? Some people, they click right away, like a Jimmy Butler, who was dying to get out of Miami, but he just fits anywhere that you actually want to play basketball. If T-Mac just wants to hoop, he fits. And then you got somebody like Buddy who probably had to get comfortable and acclimated, and you still didn't feel comfortable, especially when you're in the playoffs when everything matters. So I think now he's starting to feel like he's one with the guys.
He was shooting the way he be shooting the last 2 games.
That's what I mean. Like, when you're successful compared to everybody else talking about how successful you haven't been, you know what I mean? And you're successful in crucial moments.
Yeah, big time, big time always. And I would have passed him if they just tanked game 2, because Steve Kerr is known for just being like, all right, if he sees the lead getting bigger and bigger. Hell, like, all right, we got our 1-1. We'll go back home.
I mean, if it's like that bad, but nah, you'll never want to go out like that though.
No, I'm just saying that's just Steve Kerr's mantra. He really just be like,
because you rather not risk injury.
Yeah.
In like the fourth quarter, trying to come back, knowing you ain't gonna come back. Now you really can't come back.
Yeah.
So sometimes you gotta be smart, especially based on the situation they've had. You've had 2 of your best players go out in the same season.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't like the same Same series?
Yeah.
So that's even worse. You lose one with the Achilles, and you lose one with the ACL, right? So, yeah, you gotta be smart about certain things, but you definitely don't want to just throw a game away, though.
Yeah, so they got that. But like the game 2's tomorrow. That's one thing about these semifinals. There's no like 2-3 days off before the next game. It's like you just get that 1 day off, and then you right back at it, because trying to get this show on the road. Other upset, well, this wasn't really upset, but the Nuggets, once again, kids, make your free throws. Make your free throws. Literally all the Thunder had to do, all Chet had to do was make those free throws, and they win the game. He missed the free throw. Aaron Gordon with the big-time shot. Man, quite the week he had. That's the second one this postseason he with the buzzer beater. But that was, yeah, man. And Jokic is just like, yeah, that dude's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Chet missed both them free throws. What was it gonna say?
And they were fouling too early, too.
Yeah, that was crazy. They was fouling like they was losing.
Right.
But they was fouling like they were in college.
Right. Like, we get the strategy, but you got to let them use some clock first before you foul.
Yeah, I think that new coach, I don't know what he was thinking in regards to foul immediately. Nah, bro, you got to waste some of that clock. They're forced them to make free throws compared to allowing them to, like, make free throws. You know, it was different. You got so much time, you're like, we got still a chance to come back, compared to, like, we don't have that much time.
Yeah.
But,
And also, too, you're like in the top 5 in defense. You just play defense. You're like one of the best in the league.
Almost pretty big for some people who never been in it.
Yeah.
So, but what else was I going to say? I ain't like how they've been talking about Aaron Gordon in regards to, like, he wasn't one of the better shooters on the court. Yeah, he might be like the third option, but have people not been seeing how that man has been shooting in the past 2 months?
Shoot, even the past couple of years too. Yeah.
But even towards the end of the season, he was like one of their better 3-point shooters. Like, some games he had 4 or 5 threes. Like, people don't realize, people forget this. So I get it, he's super athletic, but that was a good shot by him personally.
Good shot. That was a good find too by Westbrook. It also shows like what happens when you just push the tempo. They got that thing, they got that ball out quick. Defense is scrambling. Westbrook found the open man. Like,
I'm not even gonna hold you, man. Even I had a moment when I thought Westbrook was gonna try to go for that layup. I was like, all right, cool. I'm like, damn, man.
Someone said, the hoop was calling Russ like the Green Goblin mask.
It really was, but unfortunately, like, I think he thought twice because he got blocked a couple series ago, and he missed, like, I think another either series or another game.
Yeah.
So I think he just realized, you know what? Instead of me pushing the issue, let me just get to the open man. Just so happens that Gordon ran the floor.
Right.
And Jokic is Jokic, man.
Yeah. You know what's the big, like, people don't talk about this. Like, I know, like, Nash, everybody just be killing Luka about, like, his lack of defense and all that stuff. But, Michael Porter Jr., The fact that you're that gifted offensively, but they can't keep you in the game because your defense is so bad, that's such a big indictment on him. Like, because when I was watching, I'm just like, it was like 5 minutes, like 6 minutes left, and he's on the bench. So I'm like, all right, they're probably going to bring him in. And they ain't bring him back in. And I'm just like, oh, they didn't bring him back in because of his defense. Like him, Tyler Hero, Darius Garland, like these dudes so gifted, but the fact they can't even play you guys in crunch time games because of your lack of defense, whew, man, that's like have a little pride or something.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that Braun's like he's real athletic for the type of player he is,
Right.
and prides himself on playing defense and doing the extra things. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Brown wasn't a lottery pick, was he?
I'll double check that for you, but I don't. No.
I feel like expectations was different. Like they really don't expect Porter Jr. to play much defense. They need him to put the ball in the hole, especially based on how he was picked. Mm-hmm. Brown, when he was picked, you know, what's it called, the tool guy?
Yeah.
Position guy. Granted, as a man though, that plays basketball, he's going to have some pride in stopping somebody and saying that, yeah, you can't score on me, just even a couple possessions.
Right. And you want to be on the court late in the fourth quarter. You don't want to be sitting there on the bench, especially like the player with his talent. You don't want to be on the bench, but yeah.
I mean, I was always taught, it ain't how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah.
You want to be out there at the end of the game.
Right.
So that's a testament to what he needs to do in the future, off season. I don't know what else to tell you because that's a personal problem.
Like serious. Like learn how to slide your feet a little bit.
Like being offensively skilled, that's just I feel like that's kind of natural. It's a gift that everybody doesn't have. But playing defense, you could be ass and still be a good defender.
Yeah. And all it is if you can communicate, you can be the worst defender in the world. If you can communicate, they'll be able to like hide your deficiencies on defense if you can.
But it's all just putting forth the effort.
Yeah.
You didn't get this far without playing any defense.
Right.
So that being said,
and you're 6'10".
Now you're at a certain level. You gotta just put forth a little more effort.
Yeah,
that's all.
And speaking of that, playing pickup, I think it was last week or the week before. They thought it was a lick on defense. I think the team had game point, and they told this dude they about to score on me. I was like, oh, damn, you think I'm a lick?
Yeah.
Great. They ain't scoring, but it's just
basketball was very disrespectful.
Yeah. I heard that. I was like, yeah. I definitely didn't have. I definitely made sure he didn't score because he wasn't about to score, and then after saying that. Like,
and sometimes it's subtle disrespect. If you're not accustomed to hearing certain things on the court or being experienced, you won't even pick up on it.
Right. Yeah. And it's like when they're telling like the people watching, like you're like.
Once again, some people never pick up on that stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I say it's a pride thing to play defense.
Yeah. Also, people that be coming to Sunday service, don't come there if you're like semi-hurt or recovering and stuff like that, because that's not the place for all that. Kid came a couple weeks ago, re-injured himself, and we were just like, he had a knee brace on and everything, right? So he's like, and he hurt himself. So, So I just look and I see him on the other side just laying down. I don't know how he hurt himself, but he did. But I was like, I'm talking to this one dude. I'm like, this ain't the place to be coming here after you got injured or rehabbing and stuff like that. If you're not 100%, don't.
He went to the YMCA. He could have went upstairs and rode the bike, got the treadmill, maybe strengthen that knee.
Right.
Try to get off the knee brace to maybe a knee sleeve, so he could
Right, because it's not everybody here don't play every day, but when they're playing here, they're going hard, and some of these dudes used to play competitively too. So it's like you don't want to just bring yourself. There was another dude, he hadn't played for a while. And he came in there, and it was just bad. Like he was shooting over the backboard.
Oh my!
Not even touching the rim. So I'm like asking the people that know him, I was like, It's like he used to play a lot, but then he became a DJ, and he was DJing, partying, and all that. And he's like I'm like, yeah, you gotta slowly get back into that. This ain't.
I'll be honest. Nah, there's just certain things that if somebody's a hooper or not.
Yeah.
Shooting over the backboard.
Oh, it was bad, man. It was bad. Because they was telling me he used to play, and I'm just like, yeah.
But then I'll be honest, like, it's when people I know roll their eyes at me and probably can't stand. You gotta look at who you're talking to sometimes when you're asking somebody about their experience in basketball.
Yeah. I was saying.
Because sometimes you might be talking to Peanut Gallery about another peanut. You know what I mean?
Dude didn't make a shot the 2 weeks he was there. I was keeping track too. I'm like, yo, I had to play. He was on the team. I was on one game. He didn't make a shot. Next week he didn't make a shot either. I'm like,
and like that's the issue. I feel like just playing pickup, being in these leagues that like we're all grown, but we all have different experiences in regards to basketball, and we all reach different levels. So it's like you might be on the court that somebody who talks that they know basketball, but they only last time they played was middle school,
right,
on their middle school team. So it's like, bro, how much do you really know the game compared to other people? And then it's like you start arguing with people who have no idea about stuff. That's why I say you got to watch who you're talking to sometimes. And people got to start. I don't want to say you got to start telling people you played, but if you know you ain't that experienced or you ain't been around, stop acting like you have.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts.
Because we're not going to go to your place of whatever you do, where your expertise is, and start acting like we know what you do. I'm going to ask questions and find out what you do because I want to learn.
Yeah.
I'm not going to assume I know anything just because I can watch it on TV.
Yeah. Sunday service be hilarious.
That just annoys me.
Yeah. No, Sunday service be hilarious. But I actually had a good run the other day.
I gotta finally make it. I gotta finally make it, man. It's been like months.
Yeah, Jarnell was there. He was there.
My guy.
Yeah, he played. Tyrese was there.
Okay.
It was a good solid 20 people. A good solid 20 people. Yeah. It was like the first 30 minutes though. It was just 11 of us, so we was able to get 4 games in.
Yeah, that's what I'd want to be. And then once the crowd start coming in, I gotta see what that Y looks like. I want to go up there, see what the gym is, the weight room, see what they got, what the aerobics room, so I can do some burpees and stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good run though. It was a good run. I ain't get a dub though.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, man, I ain't get a dub.
So where we at now?
Greg Popovich stepped down.
Or known as El Jefe.
El Jefe. He will be the general manager or something like that now. He's going to take over. Yeah, he's up in the suite making decisions and stuff like that. Moving on up. Good for him. At his age, you don't need to be dealing with the stress of coaching. So.
I'll be honest. I just felt like that's well-deserving. Like, that's how you treat one of your longer tenured employees. Yeah. Or definitely longer tenured coach in the league. You know he's good enough to do another job. Right. Just move him up. Yeah. I'm going to fire him. Just promote him.
Yeah, and plus he's probably, don't know how long he'll be in that position.
No idea.
Right? So he could be there for a year. Just be like, and just say, I'm just going to chill and enjoy the fruits of my labor. But clearly he still want to be around the game and stuff like that, so it's cool. But did you see the picture in the press conference with Wemby, Duncan, the former players? And he was looking at Wemby and he making Tim Duncan and David Robinson look like midgets. And you're like, bruh, this isn't normal.
No, it is not. Oh.
That's kind of fire with the flame.
Yeah, it's like basketball heaven. Right. We don't got pearly gates. She got golden backboard. Yeah. Got to shoot you with Jay to get in.
Yeah, but this frame with the book, though, that's a perfectly suited frame.
Get you one, by the way. Just smile. At least woke up today. Available on Amazon or holler at me, physical copies. Shameless plug.
Before we get to this interview, James Harden, man, he's not doing good to help his legacy, man.
What happened? What you mean?
His Game 7 woes continue.
I thought we already knew what that was.
But it was like, damn, man. It's just like, damn. Like, damn. And that's all you can say. Even as much as people love him, too, it's just like, man, there's
You know what they
There's
say,
no
man?
defending this.
If you put lipstick on it, it's still. I don't really. I'll be honest. I don't really like that quote. I just like saying, stop lying to yourself.
Look like a skunk, walk like a skunk,
you know what I
talk
mean?
like a skunk, and smells like a skunk.
Yeah. I don't like to compare anybody to animals, but just stop lying to yourself, people. That's all it is to it. Just stop lying to yourself. We have some people who are just great. You know what I mean? The regular season. Extraordinary offensive talents, but they just can't get over the hump.
They just can't get
Now,
out of their own shoes.
Yeah, do I understand the whole just not making it to certain parts of the playoffs? I don't understand that part, but it's like the Game 7 curse is weird.
And the thing is, it's like, and part of his Game 7 curse, it's like he just stops being aggressive, stops shooting the ball. Like, he took 8 shots in Game 7. For a guy that's pretty high volume shooter, he takes a lot of shots, and you're just like, this is now the time to take them shots. But yeah, it's I mean, what they call it, loser syndrome. You don't want to call it a syndrome.
I don't know what syndrome is. That's a pretty tough syndrome to throw on somebody.
It's tough.
I can't throw that, but that's just, I don't know.
It's tough.
I don't know what it is personally, man. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Me either.
Like, did he win in high school? Like, because there are some guys who just, unfortunately, just don't really know what it's like to win at all.
Yeah.
Like ever. So, and a lot of people that you see that win in the NBA, in high school, they might have won, college, they might have experienced winning somewhere. Peach Jam, something.
Sometime, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and then some guys who just, even you heard some guys say it, I never won anything. So I don't know personally.
Me either.
I have no idea, man.
It's wild. It's just wild that just.
Because I like watching Jay. I'm a fan of James Harden. I like his game, but I wish that I don't like anybody having a meltdown ever. I just want everybody to just play the best they can. Wherever the chips fall, that's where they fall.
Right.
I don't like people not showing up. You know what I mean? That's just weird to me.
Have that moment, that playoff moment. You're like, but here.
Did that happen when we was younger? Like, in the 90s and stuff like that, early 2000s, like, did that really, did guys not show up like that? Was there ever one person that I'm trying to think, like.
There were some guys that did, but they ended up redeeming themselves.
All right. I remember guys having bad games, but I remember people complaining about guys not shooting.
Right.
So I don't understand.
I don't know, but, ooh, man, tough break, buddy. +1 interview, we had Corey Lowe. Corey Lowe on. He talked about second year as head coach at Newton South. He talked about his 4 years. Well, he played 3 years, but 4 years at Newton North, and then his 4 years at Boston University. So check this out, and then we all come back. There was some boxing that happened over the weekend that wasn't quite as entertaining as people thought it would be. So we'll tell you. Paige will get us hip to that. Hello and welcome to another edition of the +1 interview. And today we got a really special guest. We got Newton South head coach, former Boston Herald All-Scholastic, state champion, Boston University, Mr. Corey Lowe. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well. Thank you for having me.
Hey, thank you for coming down, man. I know you're driving over in this area around this time ain't the easiest thing, but
I saw the other way coming down, so I said I'll sit in that after, but wasn't too bad.
You just wrapped up season number 2 as head coach of Newton South. You guys made it to the tournament. Just overall, what was kind of your overall landscape or overall point of view of this season? How can you assess the season, I should say?
Before we start, I gotta give a shout out to my assistant Noah, who loves. I told him I was coming on here. He was juiced up, pumped up. He loves all your YouTube stuff.
Shout out to Noah.
And you help us with a lot of film that we can't get otherwise. So shout out to Noah and just thanks again for having me.
Yes, sir.
Coming into year 2, I knew I had a lot of returning pieces. So I kind of looked at it in steps. So year 1 was just kind of getting my traits and my characteristics, into the program from freshman JV up to varsity. knowing that, you know, it might be a little bumpy. You know, we have one of the harder schedules, I think, around 2 years in a row now. So each year, even last year and this year, we started 1-3. And first year, I was like, you know, I don't know where we're going to come out of this. You know, we were lucky to come out 10-10. But you could see kind of everybody making the progress and doing the things I was asking them to do, which a lot of it is just playing with consistent effort, you know, all the time, and just like putting, you know, we over me, as we talk about sometimes. And then this year again, you know, we started our season Malden Catholic, then we had Bedford, then we had Newton North, then we had Arlington.
Oh boy.
And then someone else right after that. So it was a slate 1-3. You know, everyone's like, man, here we go again. And I remember talking to Noah, one of my assistants. I was like, don't worry, we're going to 15-5. We'll be fine. And we end up, you know, going 16-4. You know, put together like 2 separate 7-game winning streaks. So, you know, it was good to see. You know, everybody bought into what we were trying to preach and do. So that's where we're at.
Right, and with the landscape of, you know, the rankings and all that stuff, you understood of the importance of those early games against those teams, and the beneficial part of it, not only just for like the ranking wise, but also for your players, showing them like, you know, you got to play these teams because it'll help you when you get into these moments of big games or down the stretch when you got to make big plays.
Yep. So obviously the power rankings that they were playing Malden, Newton North, you know, Arlington was at top 15 all season. You know, that helped us a ton. And then year one we played Malden Catholic. We went there. We got smacked. I think it was like, you know, 25 or something like that. And then last year when we played in the first game, you know, it was a 8-point game going into the fourth quarter. You know, so you could see the belief and the progress that we've made. You know, they ended up winning by like 18. You know, we couldn't score in the fourth quarter, but you know, whatever. Still against a team like that, it's like, okay, you see, we belong. You know, with the best. And then both years with Newton North have been close games. Year one, we lost 3-pointer at the buzzer, and then last year we missed 7 free throws in the fourth quarter, ended up losing by like 6. You know, so again, you know, it's just prove to them, hey, we belong with everybody else. You guys just gotta, what do they do well? They're consistently playing hard, they're consistently communicating, consistently blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, we're doing 6 out of 7, 8 out of 9. You know, we gotta start doing 9 out of 10, whatever it may be, you know, to see that gap shrink. And, you know, we're able, by the end of the year, we're playing really, really well, and, you know, able to kind of do that.
How for you as a head coach, what was some of the differences, you know, in what you saw from yourself as a coach from year 1 to year 2?
Calming down. Some people laugh at that, but just kind of being more present in the moment. The hardest thing I think about coaching, especially, you know, I've been coaching like 10 years now, but in the beginning, the hardest thing was realizing like these kids aren't me. Yeah. And like, why can't you make a left-hand layup? You know, why can't you go to your left? Why can't you make a post-entry pass? Like blah blah blah. And it's just like, you know, getting over that and being like, all right, we got to look at each case individually, and how do we make these pieces come together? You know, and I stopped. I think year one I tried to fit the players into what I wanted to do, opposed to where in year two it was a lot more, I think, back and forth, you know, between myself, the captains, you know, people in the program, about kind of what works, like what will keep me happy, and but also what works for what we have. And so that's why we went to like the 5-out motion, and, you know, a lot more moving, opposed to like ball screens and you know, stuff like that. So
yeah, and I appreciate you said that, because some of the guys I talked to, it was one of the things they said, they always had to remind themselves, like, you know, when you're an athlete and a competitor, you play the sport for so long, like that competitive nature always stays there. So sometimes it shows on the coaching aspects, and you got to take that step back. Like, oh, hold up, I can't check in the game, so let me try to find a way to get these guys to see what I'm seeing, or, you know, understand what I'm trying to.
You know, I'm really mad when I use the phrase, right now I care more than you guys. right? Because like you said, my competitive juices are always going, and like I get into it with the refs. You know, I'll be jumping up and down, doing twirls. Like, you know, I'm in a defensive stance. You know, I know that's the limit for me now. Like, I can't cross the line. You guys got to carry it the rest of the way. And I think year one, you know, learning from, you know, what we had coming back, that group would need. I think kids now struggle creating their own kind of juice. So like I never sit. Like if you see a game, I never sit down. I'm always walking up and down the sideline, just interacting, talking to the bench, talking to the refs, talking to whoever, just to stay engaged and energetic. So that way the players always see that and like, okay, coach is up, coach is doing this, coach is not. We don't sit in timeouts, you know, anything like that. So like we're always ready to go, and I think that kind of eventually wore on until it became just, you know, second nature to everyone.
Yeah. Well, was there a particular game, either your first year or this past season, that you saw and you just sat back to yourself? You're like, okay, these guys are getting it. They're starting to get it. It's starting to click for them.
It had to be the start of our first, you know, kind of 7-game winning streak. You know, we just lost to North, and then we lost to Arlington by like 25. And I knew we weren't 25 points worse than them. You know, just coming off the emotional city rivalry, whatever you want to call it. And then after that, we had, I think it was Cambridge, who in our league, you know, they're always the standard. And, you know, we had a game with them. It was tight. And, you know, in the year past, you know, we lost 5 or 6 games, I want to say, by 5 points or less. So, you know, we're sitting there. It's like going into the fourth. I'm like, oh, here we go again. You know, but instead of like the turnover we always got or the rebound we couldn't get, you know, we took care of the ball. We got the rebound we needed to get. We got the stop we needed to get. We hit the free throws we needed to get. And I was like, okay, we might be getting it. And then we beat, you know, our rival LS the next game in overtime. And then I'm like, all right, we might be onto something here. So I'm just kind of seeing the corrections being made, the things that cost us games the year before to, you know, now we're kind of being able to get over those hurdles. You know, I think, you know, the sky's the limit. And then kind of the end of the year, we're playing Marshfield, who's a, you know, really good team. I think they were ranked like 11th at that time. We were 14th, you know, going into that last week. They're playing in the Weymouth tournament. And they come on, they're smacking us like 17-0 to start the game. And I'm like, yeah, call a timeout. You know, I didn't like how the refs were doing it. So, you know, I'm like, they're trying to take it from you. Right. You know, I'm like, they don't want you to have it. I get a T on purpose. I tell people, you know, like, I'm like, we're not having the way this is going. You know, so we come storming back, end up winning the game by like, you know, 5, I think. And I'm like, wow, we really have a chance to do something special, you know, as the tournament starts. So.
We are back. Okay, quick NFL news. The Steelers have traded crash out wide receiver Pickens to the Cowboys. They can't have 2 crash outs on the same team, you know, because they got DK Metcalf. Yeah, that. So, you know, you get only 1 crash out per team. Good for him, I guess. Heading to Dallas, he'll just crash out there, and there'll just be more national spotlight on that. But yeah,
It's the Cowboys.
Yeah, I don't know if this makes them better or anything, but you know, can you get through a season with your quarterback being healthy? We shall see.
I just think these players, when they go to the Cowboys, they're just happy they're getting paid.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Cause I don't know. What's so exciting about? I mean, living in Dallas, living in Texas is a pretty fun time, but I don't know what exciting about playing for the Cowboys would be.
Neither do I. The Cavs coach, Kenny Atkinson, he won Coach of the Year. This Coach of the Year's voting be like weird, though.
What you mean?
Because it'd be like, you see like some coaches, you see like some teams with like good records and their coaches and candidate for Coach of the Year or a finalist for Coach of the Year. It's just like how y'all, you know, determining it? Because I thought winning wise, you know, that would play a major role. Because if it was that, the coach for OKC probably should have won it. Because they won 68 games.
Did he win it last year?
I have no idea. He might have. But
I don't know if we had too many two-time coaches in the year back-to-back in the NBA. I feel like that's one of those awards where they feel guilty for giving it to the same person multiple times. I think it's weird that you should ever feel guilty about giving somebody multiple awards based on their performance, better than everybody else's.
yeah,
I'm all about, if I'm killing you and I'm keep killing you, I deserve to keep winning. Like, that's just it. More trophies. But we live in this world where it's not fair and stuff like that. And I'm like, I thought life wasn't fair.
yeah. And judging from this list I'm seeing, I have not seen a coach win it back to back, but I've seen they got coaches that won it multiple times. Back to back.
They'll let you win it.
Yeah.
The third year, they won't let you win it 2 years in a row, though.
Yeah.
But the year after, you can get you one. Another one.
Yeah, and the OKC coach did win it last year.
So, well, there you go, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, you're right. Back to back, yeah, hasn't happened. Not at all.
Really?
Like, look, Pat Riley, 83, 85, 92. I mean, Pat Riley, 90, 93, 97. Don Nelson, 83, 85, 92. Yeah. Okay, whatever.
But too, but a good amount of teams that won the NBA championships, they really weren't the highest seeds too.
Nah.
So it's like, that makes sense now. Like,
Some quick college news. University of New Haven, they're moving up to Division I. I think all sports. So they're gonna be in that process. So it's probably gonna happen next year.
good for them.
So,
Congrats.
Yeah. The Florida coach, he signed a new contract, 6 year, $40 million, I should say. But that's what happens when you win a national title. When you win a natty, you get that payday. Yeah, payday. That's all. It's a quiet time here. But let's go to this boxing stuff. Pedro, guys weren't throwing punches over the weekend. We saw a knockdown, but it was the next day with the guy from Japan or whatever. But the Friday, Saturday were a disappointment.
Yeah, we had a good weekend, if you will, of fights on May 2nd, Friday, May 2nd, Saturday the 3rd, and May the 4th. So here are the highlights. That's the first fight in New York. Teofimo Lopez against Barboza Jr. The grudge match, if you will. Teofimo ended up winning by decision.
That's the racist, right?
Yeah, that's the racist.
So that was it. And then,
I need to whoop his ass.
David Haney against Ramirez. David Haney, that was his return. He had a year layoff. And, it was expected to win.
Decision? He won off decision, right? Yeah. But wasn't there one round where they barely threw any punches? They was just both just like.
Yeah, and this one actually the main event. Here it is.
Rolly
Garcia against Rolly.
Oh damn!
Put him down.
Damn.
I mean, Rolly went up in weight.
Ooh.
As well as Ryan Garcia, and I tell you, Rolly. He fought really well.
Well, I mean, Garcia ain't on them. What's that stuff he got caught doing?
I think it was like PEDs. He was like drinking.
Yeah, he ain't on the PEDs, so maybe he need to get back on the PEDs.
So this was the fight that saved the whole weekend. I mean,
I saw this, yeah.
The Japanese monster, they call it. Naoya Inoue.
Oh yeah.
Was
bad.
this
Undisputed champion.
He's a bad man.
Was this in Japan?
No, this was in New York.
Oh, in New
York. Madison Square Garden.
Oh, okay, because I thought he only fights in Japan.
He fought here in the U.S. back in last time, 2021.
Oh, okay. All right. And then I saw Teofimo calling out. He was calling out Boots?
I mean, Teofimo, I like him in that sense that he's not afraid. He goes out everyone.
Mm-hmm.
he'll fight anybody, so that's good, you know.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, man, this was a great fight right here.
Yeah. And then we got Bud and Canelo. They have a date. They have a place. They have a location. They have a state. Now all it is, they got the paperwork got to be signed.
Yes, speaking of Canelo, he did fight William Skull right here. I mean, I don't know what happened in William Skull. I don't know why he showed up. I should have, I mean, if I was him, I would have just stayed home. And just enjoy the family, the friends, and a party. You know what I mean? Like, because this guy ran the whole night. I mean, it was a bad fight.
Oh, my Lord.
Even Canelo didn't do as much.
Yeah. It seemed like this was just one to let me get a quick payday, let me get a quick check.
One of those. And of course, Crawford, you know, they faced off. They will meet in September the 12th. So that's going to be a good fight here in Las Vegas. I mean, not for nothing, but come on, man. I mean, nobody wants to really go to, Riyadh. You know what I mean? Like, people like, why? Not like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like here, the excitement of you know what I mean? America.
Right.
I hear that.
Yeah.
America's America, man. I don't hear anybody saying, like, I want to go to Europe and fight.
And that's just a lot of travel for no reason, too, for a fight. If you go all the way out there, like Abu Dhabi's and stuff like that. Good for a vacation and, nice and all that, but when you got to fight, your body got to get used to that time zone change and all that. It's too much.
So yeah, man. So Friday, Saturday, it wasn't as good, but on Sunday it was a great fight, man. So I'm glad that happened. That kind of saved the whole weekend.
All right, that is dope. That is dope. We don't have no highlights for you all folks. So, it's we're about to just wrap this up because we're about to get up out of here. Happy belated to Maddie.
Facts.
Her birthday was Sunday.
Yep, my big girl turned 12. She's getting tall.
Yeah. She was enjoying that hibachi.
Yeah, man, that's her thing. I asked her where she wanted to go. First, she didn't want to do anything, and then, you know how kids are.
Yeah, changed their mind after.
I figured she's going to want to go out. But yeah, I'm one of them people, though, I just don't, if you don't tell me what you want, I'm giving you money. Because I don't like buying random gifts, and you ain't going to hurt my feelings. Fine if you don't like it. And she's probably the only person that can't hurt my feelings, so I just, she finally told me what she wanted. I grabbed her stuff the night before. She went to sleep, and I went and grabbed her a couple gifts.
Fire. Yeah. Fire. I have my cousin. She just turned 19 today. Happy birthday to her.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Getting old.
Yeah.
Getting old.
College freshman and all that.
Oh, snappy dabby.
Some other birthdays I forgot to shout out. Yeah, I text y'all, so all that good stuff. We about to get up out of here. Make sure you follow us, LCTV After the Whistle on Instagram. Check us out. We got stuff on there. Mukala K, Instagram and Twitter. So you follow him, Mr. Burton 23. Also get the book. Go get it. Amazon.
Just smile. At least you woke up today.
Yeah. Check me out. I was on the All In Sports Huddle over the weekend. I did like a little 15-minute segment with my guy Joe Dub. That's on. So go online. Or just go to my Facebook. I got the link on there. I was with the 806 The Show guys yesterday, so that episode will be dropping at some point. But yeah, we got stuff going on. And
we do.
all the kids graduating college and high school, and all the kids that are made their college decisions, good luck to you all, man. This is about the best time of your life, so enjoy it. Because once that's over, it's the real world, and it's nothing but babies and memories.
And bills.
And bills. And sometimes annoying adults.
Oh, my, don't even get me started on that. Don't get me stuck.